Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Hello.
Hello. All right, they've changed a lot in StreamYard, and I've got lost for a minute.
Yeah, it's been changing like crazy. It's a pain in the butt. Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining us.
Okay. All right.
Need
Sorry about
help
that,
with
guys.
anything?
Just trying to figure everything out.
Can I
All
help
right.
somehow?
No, just trying to find the buttons and things again and share my screen.
Gotcha. If
All
you
right.
need anything, let me know.
Okay. Um.
Thank you for having me, by the way.
Yes, you're welcome. Thank you for being here.
Go for it.
So we're gonna talk about an Olympic snowboarder that apparently has turned to a drug kingpin, basically. Um,
Wow.
his name is Ryan James Wedding. Yeah. Um, it was Chris Gideon that brought this to my attention, and he's like, "We need to get this out ASAP." I was like, "Okay, I will get on it."
How long ago was he with the Olympics? Because I remember that name from somewhere.
I want to say 22.
Okay, gotcha.
It
Sorry.
hasn't been very long. Um, and I got too many. I pulled a Dago. I got too many things open.
I'll be doing that now.
All right, let's see. All right, let's see who we got in the chat. We got Stormy, Honey, and Peggy. Hello, Jody. Miss Kim, thank you for being here, ladies. Hello, Lisa. Hi, Tomboy. Oh, Tomboy said 2002. I probably looked at it wrong. Too many twos.
It's okay. Either way, appreciate it.
She is correct.
Hello.
He competed in the men's parallel giant, I don't know if I'm going to say this right, slalom
Yeah,
event at the 2002 Winter Olympics, placing 24th.
that's something. I mean, you got to be talented to make the Olympics, so that says a lot right there by itself.
Right. And we got Tandy. Was your guess right, Tandy? She's like, I think I know who it is. I think I know who it is.
That's what I said. The name sounded familiar, and I like the Winter Olympics because I like the snowboarding and I like the skiing stuff and all that. So I think I remember him from there when you said the wedding last name.
Yeah. All right, so let me share my screen. My videos are not great. They're getting there, but um,
You do amazing, just like Doodle. Don't doubt yourself. You guys all do amazing with this stuff.
I will take your word for it.
I would not tell a fib. I promise.
I know. So here's the video with the information, and then we can go from there. Let me know if you can hear it okay.
You might want to turn it up just a little bit. Or is your background music supposed to still be playing?
Yeah, it does for a minute. Well,
Okay,
not a minute, literally
gotcha.
2 seconds.
That's all I can hear is that. I don't hear anything else
Okay.
as of right now.
Okay. Wedding went from being an elite athlete to running one of the most sophisticated drug trafficking networks in North America. Ryan James Wedding is a Canadian citizen who may be residing in Mexico. His aliases include James Conrad King, Jesse King, Giant, Public Enemy, El Jefe. Additional aliases include R137, PE 3.14, R, RW, Mexi, El Toro, Boss, Buddy, Grande, Public, NPKY8WY7, and FUJ93HXR. His description: he was born September 14th, 1981. He has blue eyes, weighs 240 pounds. He's white. He speaks Spanish and has brown hair. He's 6'3". He's male. Nationality is Canadian. He is wanted by the FBI, and there is up to a $10 million reward for info leading to the arrest and/or conviction. Ryan James Wedding is on the FBI's 10 most wanted list. He is wanted for allegedly running and participating in a transnational drug trafficking operation that routinely shipped hundreds of kilograms of cocaine from Colombia through Mexico and Southern California to Canada and other locations in the USA. It is alleged that Wedding was involved in orchestrating multiple murders in furtherance of these drug crimes. On September 17, 2024, a federal arrest warrant was issued for Ryan James Wedding in the United States District Court, Central District of California, Los Angeles, California, after he was charged with conspiracy to distribute and possess with intent to distribute controlled substances, conspiracy to export cocaine, continuing criminal enterprise, murder in connection with a continuing criminal enterprise, and drug crime. An attempt to commit murder in connection with a continuing criminal enterprise and drug crime. He should be considered armed and dangerous. If you have any information concerning this person, please contact the FBI via WhatsApp, Signal, or Telegram. Neither government-operated nor government-controlled platforms at 424-495-0614. You may also contact your local FBI office, the nearest American embassy or consulate, or you can submit a tip online at tips.fbi.gov. Thanks for listening, and keep your eyes open. Here's the FBI's flyer.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
How do you go from that to this? You know what I mean?
Right. I was like, what?
That's wild. I mean, you're an Olympic skier, I guess that's what you classify it, or slalom, and you turn to this where you're on the FBI's 10 most wanted list. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. They just put him on there on March 6th.
And which tells me to make that list. I mean, Pablo Escobar was on that list at some point, and quite a few other bad people made that list. And to you're an Olympic hopeful, or an Olympic participant. I'm sorry.
Right.
Now you're wanted by the FBI as being one of the most dangerous people in America. Wow.
Yeah.
Good Lord. You don't see that coming. I'll tell you that much. Good God. So, like, when was the last time? I don't know if I missed that, but like, when's the last time he's been seen? Do you know?
Let's see.
Thank you guys for being here for this today. I appreciate you all so very much.
Where was that at? I did see it.
Wow. I mean, this is like a wow. Never heard of this.
So there's another guy. Here we can. Here, let me share this. So this is on FBI.org.
Gotcha.
So, former Olympic snowboarder and Canadian national Ryan Wedding, 43, has been added to the FBI's 10 most wanted fugitives list. Akil Davis, the assistant director in charge of the FBI's Los Angeles field office, announced today during a press conference in Westwood. ADIC Davis was joined by law enforcement partners with the United States Department of State, Royal Canadian Mounted Police, Federal Policing, the Los Angeles Police Department, the Drug Enforcement Administration, Los Angeles, and the United States Attorney's Office, Central District of California.
Okay.
Yeah, and I told you his aliases. He was born in Thunder Bay, Canada,
Right.
and competed in the giant slalom in 2002 out of Salt Lake City, Utah.
Right.
Um,
There's a lot. I mean,
yeah,
the RCMP has been looking for him in Canada for over 10 years now.
yeah, and they think he's in Mexico.
16 tons, guys. This man transported over 16 tons of cocaine. Wow.
Yeah.
This is just
his second in command is Andrew Clark, who is 34, also Canadian. Were charged in an indictment out of the Central District of California with running a continuing criminal enterprise, committing murder in connection with a continuing criminal enterprise and assorted drug crimes, and conspiring to possess, distribute, and export cocaine. Clark was arrested last October by Mexican authorities, was among the 29 fugitives whom Attorney General Pamela Bondi announced had arrived in the United States from Mexico last week. And this is, I was going to say, this should be, this was dated the 6th, so just 3 days ago.
I have, if you want, I have something from 4 months ago. If you want it, I threw it backstage for you to throw up there if you want to. It'll show a little bit about why they're looking for this guy.
Yeah, there was a lot, and I was like, there's so much.
I can't get past the fact that the man was an Olympian and now he's on this list. It's just like, what?
Yeah, and he's 43, and it's like, come on, dude.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, and Tandy's probably right. He's probably hiding behind the cartel. I can agree with that.
Yeah, they did say something. The name of the. Why does it not show me backstage?
Oh, it should just be back at the bottom, like you're pulling me up from down there. You see what I'm saying? Like if you look at the bottom of the screen, there should be a little picture down there. You just.
Oh, I see it.
Yeah, you just add it. Yeah, this guy didn't start this on his own, folks. I'll put it that way. He didn't just walk out one day and say, I'm going to do this. He had to have help, which is, we know where that came from, obviously. But check this out. Let me know if it sounds okay and everything.
An Olympic snowboarder is accused of heading a deadly drug operation stretching from Mexico through LA all the way to Canada. The FBI just announced multiple arrests and seizures.
Look at all of that. And how look at all of that. This is insane.
But the former Olympian is on the run. NBC4's Ted Chin's in our newsroom now with the latest. Ted.
Kathy, Ryan Wedding competed in the 2002 Winter Olympics for Canada as a snowboarder. The feds say he then became a ruthless drug trafficker who ordered the murders of at least 3 people. Displaying 3 seizures that authorities say they made at stash houses throughout Southern California, U.S. Attorney Martina Estrada says it was an operation that ran through 4 countries, with Los Angeles as a hub, moving some 60 tons of cocaine every year.
This group was ruthless and violent. They would use contract killers to assassinate anyone who they saw as an obstacle to their operation.
Estrada says their leader was 43-year-old Ryan James Wedding, an Olympic snowboarder who competed for Canada in 2002. Authorities say Wedding directed the murders of at least 3 people, including a couple in Canada who was killed in front of their daughter.
While key members of Ryan Wedding's violent criminal enterprise were successfully apprehended, Ryan Wedding is still at large.
Among those captured, Andrew Clark, Wedding's alleged second-in-command, who authorities say was arrested in Mexico, where the organization was based, protected by the Sinaloa cartel. The drugs then transported by long-haul semi-trucks that avoided detection at the U.S.-Mexico border.
Thousands, hundreds of thousands of kilograms, pounds of drugs are seized every month, every year at the border. But some of that drugs gets through and gets to other places in the country.
Authorities say Clark was one of 12 arrests made in the U.S., Canada, and Colombia. A $50,000 reward has been offered for information leading to Wedding's capture and prosecution. Wedding is charged with 8 felonies, including drug trafficking and 3 counts of murder. Among his alleged nicknames are Giant and Public Enemy and The Dictator. Live in the newsroom, Ted Chen, NBC4 News. Robert, back to you.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow.
You know, I mean, as soon as I saw that, I was like, oh my God. I mean, and there it was. He's being protected by the Sinaloa cartel, like you thought.
Mm-hmm.
There's no way this guy started off into this on his own. Somebody hooked into him, and his buddy, which is his second in command, I'm sure they probably said, hey guys, we can get the stuff for free and make our own money. And here we are now. And now this guy's on the 10 most wanted guys. That's nuts.
Yeah. And it's interesting that I had the picture and it showed it in there of the group of guys.
Mm-hmm.
It's called Operation Giant Slalom.
Yes. Yeah, I seen that.
Like,
the ones that they have captured and whatnot. Yeah. I mean, this is huge, folks. It is, and it's sad. It's sad that you have to go from being an Olympian to now this. You know, it just makes you question life. Sometimes is like, what is going through people's? I mean, I get it. The money. You see the money that they make and all that. I mean, I understand, but no money is worth that to me. So I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe he was injured, got hooked on pain pills, and then it escalated, got into the narcotics, and it just kept going and going and going up the food chain.
Right. I have another. I don't know if you want it or not, but I have another article. It's on how an Olympic athlete became brutal $1 billion drug lord.
Oh, wow.
Yes. Hold on here. And again, just let me know what I have to do, audio or whatever.
Okay.
Let me know. Okay, here we go, guys. Thank you guys again for this, for being here with us.
I'm not built for prison either, guys.
Me either.
This guy looks pretty Canadian. And this is how the world saw Ryan Wedding at the 2002 Winter Olympic Games. Enjoying the cold, loving the snow, wearing the red and white of Team Canada. Flash forward to today, though, and the clean-cut Olympic athlete is gone. Now accused of cutting an entirely different sort of powder and rolling in a different kind of snow. His astonishing downhill slide leaves him fingered by the U.S. government as the top dog in a brutal $1 billion drug syndicate that's protected by Mexico's notorious Sinaloa cartel and free-riding contract killers who unleashed an avalanche of violence. He is also, the U.S. Department of Justice announced this week, a most wanted fugitive with a $50,000 bounty on his head. The Mob reporter here with the inside story of the rough ride of Ryan Wedding, now a drug lord, if authorities have it right, with a most unorthodox past, and how he and his pack of pals put it together and pulled it off. Oh, this is a good one. Let me tell you about it. Here is what the U.S. Department of Justice unveiled at a splashy news conference in Los Angeles on October 17, 2024, naming 16 men as the Ryan Wedding Syndicate. Here, let me fix this for you. Oh yeah, that's much better. I don't think you'll see this anywhere else. This is Ryan Wedding and his alleged right-hand man, and those accused in court of being his logistics teams, distributors, hitmen, and more. Now let's put this in context. Prosecutors say this syndicate was moving 60 tons of cocaine a year. That's 120,000 pounds, or almost 55,000 kilos. That's an astonishing average of 150 kilos a day. a veritable mountain of snow. The U.S. Attorney for the Central District of California said it was $1 billion enterprise, and that's certainly more than what an Olympian makes for being on a cereal box. The network was transnational. Wedding had moved to Mexico, where he allegedly arranged for cocaine from Colombia to be smuggled into the United States. There it was stored in stash houses around Los Angeles until truckers hauled it north to Canada. The man at the top of the mountain, authorities say, is the 43-year-old 6'3" Ryan Wedding. Wedding was born in Canada in Thunder Bay, a city that sure gets its share of snow. His grandparents ran a ski hill there, and that's likely where he fell in love with snowboarding. He then moved to Canada's west coast. Wedding had been a member of the Canadian national snowboard team since 1995, but the Winter Olympics in Salt Lake City in 2002 was the first time he made the Olympic team. He was stoked for it, but came a disappointing 24th out of 32 competitors in the men's parallel giant slalom. Things seemed to have gone downhill from there. Wedding's next headline, while he was gearing up for a run to make the 2010 Olympics, was alarming. Olympian charged in cocaine conspiracy. Wedding had been arrested in California in 2008. He was easier to catch back then. He was pinched at a San Diego hotel 3 days after flying in from Vancouver to buy 24 kilos of coke. The man he was cutting his deal with was an FBI informant. He told the judge he was ashamed he betrayed the Olympic spirit. "I guess I lost my way," he said. Prison wasn't a course correction, authorities say. In 2015, he made more headlines. By then, he had moved to Montreal, where he was named in a large-scale cocaine smuggling conspiracy. The case was alarming because among those arrested was a Canadian Air Force employee who had access to restricted areas of Canada's largest airbase on the East Coast. Also arrested was a member of Canada's Coast Guard who was serving aboard a patrol vessel. The conspiracy in that Canadian probe, codenamed Project Harrington, stands out not only for its strange cast of characters, but also for how many of them have been murdered. That was almost 10 years ago, and Wedding hasn't been seen in Canada since. He had moved to Mexico, where he had direct ties to the Sinaloa cartel through a spouse, authorities say. Wedding has 18 listed aliases. Some were fake names such as Jesse King. Some were nicknames like Giant, Public Enemy, and El Jefe, which is Spanish for the boss. Others listed are surely just usernames for encrypted phone apps, including Threema, their favorite. Wedding's right-hand man, authorities allege, was Andrew Clark, 34, from Toronto, another Canadian who joined Wedding in Mexico. That's where Clark was arrested this week by Mexican authorities. Clark has 17 aliases, including the Dictator and El Niño Problemático, Spanish for the problem child. Wedding and Clark, according to the indictment filed in court, directed the syndicate together. The pair also face charges for 4 murders and an attempted murder. He's accused of ordering hits over underworld rips. Prosecutors say it includes a high-profile shooting last year when a husband and wife were killed in their home outside Toronto, with their daughter a shock survivor, despite being shot 13 times. Authorities allege Wedding was behind it, ordering the attack in retaliation for a stolen drug shipment, but the gangsters got it all wrong and shot innocent people by mistake. Another hit came April 1st, an execution-style murder in Niagara Falls that was also big local news. U.S. prosecutors allege it was ordered by Clark and carried out by this guy, Malik Damian Cunningham, known by the nickname Mr. Perfect. He was arrested this week in Toronto. So I guess that's 4 funerals and a wedding. Now here is precisely how prosecutors allege the drug ring worked. Their transportation hub was run from Canada by Hardeep Rat, known as Diamond, and Gurpreet Singh, known as Farmer, both from Brampton, northwest of Toronto. Their stash houses in LA were run by these 3 guys. And these 3 allegedly shuttled between various stash houses, gathering together the specific loads when ordered by Wedding or Clark, and passing them on to the next link in the chain. When Wedding or Clark had a load ready to move, according to the indictment, Rat and Singh sent down 2 men to help move it, Rahim Ibragimov, known as the Russian, and Gennady Bilanog, known as John. Among the truck drivers arriving from Canada was this pair. Now, to secure all these moving parts, they used a gangland form of 2-factor authentication. to confirm identities all along the transportation chain. They would text a photo of a banknote that shows its serial number to the next link in the chain, and the transfer wouldn't happen unless the guy showed that very bill to the person he was meeting. They called these banknote numbers tokens, and tokens were needed to unlock each stage of the deal. Sometimes police intercepted their loads, and we see some of these seizures here. What the movers didn't know was that at the start of this year, their network had been infiltrated by a confidential source working for the FBI. The snitch inserted himself right at the heart of the token trading used to make all arrangements. That allowed the FBI to penetrate and intercept their encrypted chats. Now, if this is starting to sound familiar, this is exactly the same playbook I told you about in February, about a different smuggling ring who worked the exact same way and were busted the exact same way. That's in my episode on Operation Dead Hand and the secret snitch that brought down the narcos, which I'll link to. It might well have been the same snitch pulling off both these operations, seemingly flawlessly. The Olympian wasn't the only surprising person indicted. One was on the other coast of America. The FBI raided a lavish Florida mansion in a waterfront suburb of Miami. It was a noisy affair, waking neighbors and attracting local news reports the day before the big operation was announced. The mansion, incidentally, was previously owned by DJ Khaled. You can see it's downright palatial. At the mansion, the FBI was after another Canadian, one who has been living in Florida for years, a music producer named Naim Jorge Bonilla, who also owns a popular South Beach restaurant. Now here's the deal with Bonilla. Authorities allege he distributed cocaine for Wedding and Clark, who gave him 12 kilos. Bonilla paid for 7 on delivery and was to pay the remaining 5 later. When he was slow to pay, though, Wedding and Clark threatened to kill Bonilla's mother, the indictment says. Bonilla then sent a driver to Laval, Quebec, to swap 20 kilos of meth as payment for the last 3 kilos of cocaine he still owed. Ryan Wedding's past Olympic event inspired the FBI's code name for their probe. They called it Operation Giant Slalom. Someone in the FBI even made an amusing logo for it, playfully suggesting Wedding was at the finish line. But so far, he's still got big air, without a wipeout or yard sale in sight. Please remember that an indictment contains allegations only and has not yet been tested in court. None of the accused have had an opportunity to defend themselves in court. Please tap the thanks button to leave me a tip and give this video a like and leave a comment. That helps juice the algorithm. And please make sure you're subscribed to the Mob Reporter with notifications set to all. Thanks for watching to the end.
Wow, again.
Yeah. I'll show you this.
It explains how he got himself involved.
Yeah. So Tandy made the comment about how big the Sinaloa cartel is.
Oh, yeah.
All of these green spots all over, that's all of that cartel.
They're huge. Sinaloa is probably one of the biggest ones. And yeah.
Yeah.
Which is, it's obvious. That's how he got his foot in the door with this. And then it seems like he just kind of took that and ran with it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And the fact that he came out of Canada, that's not something we hear about too often. Typically, you're looking further south for these guys that do this. So,
yeah. So they're not going to look at some middle-aged white guy.
Right. Definitely. That's not the first thought. So,
Yep.
That's a wild situation. I'll say that much. Definitely. And they're still looking for, I think there's 14, including Ryan, that have not been arrested yet.
Cap, I'm not sure. He said
I
didn't.
think so. I think so.
I'm gonna say it sounds like I read something on that, but I read so much.
I think Sinaloa was one of El Chapo's side break off type things, and it went, you know what I mean? Because he started the main, and then he broke off all these other little ones, and I think that was one of them. I agree. It's
Mikey.
It's a problem for sure. It's like Christian religion there. Jesus, Mike. Definitely issues, Mikey. Definitely. You're a trip, dude. Well, he was disappointed Sunday, in my opinion, because he didn't place further up
Uh,
towards the front, in the Olympics, other than where he did.
Yeah.
And that'll bring you down with all because these Olympians, they work hard to get themselves to where they're at. You know what I mean? And to be who they are. Hey, Arctic, good to see you, bud.
They only have one shot.
Yeah. I mean, you can go back to the
The Arctic.
Olympics time and time again, but
Right, but the Olympics are only once a year is kind of
That's
what I
it.
meant. Yeah.
yeah, no, you're right. You're right. And I think he kind of gave up at that point when he didn't place higher. So that's just sad to watch it go from that to this.
Yeah.
Something you don't see every day, that's for sure.
Definitely. Yeah, so I appreciated Chris bringing this.
Yeah.
Oh, every
definitely.
4 years. Okay.
I thought
Why did I think it was every year?
No, it's every 4 years.
See, I don't do sports, so
It's okay.
I was kind of hesitant to do this because it was a sports thing, but
No big deal.
Oh,
They
well.
rotate between the summer and the winter Olympics, and it's every 4 years.
Oh, okay.
Do you have to fund yourself to go to the Olympics? I mean, you
Yeah.
have teams and stuff like that, but mostly I think they get to that point. Yeah. I'm really shocked, like that he really did go from that to this now. I mean, to make the 10 most wanted list is not a joke, folks. You can't
No,
just be
it's
anybody
not.
to do that. That's no joke by any means whatsoever. So you got to be a serious person.
Yep.
And now they're
Was it-
saying that, if you come up, stay away if you see him or anything, because he is definitely considered to be very, very armed and very dangerous. So
Yeah. And they want him caught as soon as possible before he kills anybody else or orders anybody else to be killed.
right. Can you imagine how his parents feel? Think about that. Like, our son, the Olympian, yay, to our son, the drug cartel leader,
Yeah. Right, Arctic? Same here.
If at my age I do sports, I do six. Right. Yeah. I don't even attempt it, bro. Don't even attempt it.
Yep. From the Olympic list to the FBI list.
It's
It's
nuts.
not usually the story.
I mean, I've seen
behind-
people. Yeah. I've seen people go criminal per se, Nancy Kerrigan, Tanya Harding, and all that kind of stuff when that went down, but not like this.
Right.
That was
It must
just
be funny for the Olympics comes from sponsorship. That's the word I was trying to think of and I couldn't think of it. It's like
Right.
It's like they get these people they give them money to
yeah. Yeah, this is a crazy story. It really is. Never heard of it
Mhm.
either. I do remember him. Like I said, I always loved the Winter Olympics for the snowboarding, the slalom, and all that kind of stuff because it's really cool to me. And I tried to snowboard. It's nothing like skateboarding, so don't try it. But yeah, and I loved watching it and all that kind of stuff. So like he was the cartel was his sponsor, right? Yeah, you think so, bro. But anyway, and so I knew who he was. I'm trying to think of the other guy that I followed too. I think they were friends. Sean, there's another redheaded guy, and he was a snowboarder. What the hell is that guy's name, you guys? Sean something. He was in the Olympics. He's a snowboarder. He's very Sean White. Thank you, Tomboy. I knew he was going to have one of you guys were going to have it. But I think these two were friends and like did things together at one point too. I'd have to look into it more, but yeah. So
That's true, Mikey.
yes, Ray. That's who it is.
Yep.
Thank you. Crazy stuff. Crazy stuff.
Yeah, Peggy, the closest I get to exercise is the dog walking me around the block.
Right. Mikey said shit like this just don't happen. 100%, bro.
Yeah.
You don't think it does. Never would have thought this, Tomboy.
Yeah. When Chris sent it to me, I was like, okay, there's a guy on the 10 most wanted list. What's, and I started reading, I was like, oh, okay.
Right? Isn't that crazy?
Different.
Yes, Tomboy, I know. Thank you for that, though, for reminding me. I was very pleased to see that. Myles Garrett staying in Cleveland. Mama Bear has no clue who I'm talking about, nor does she care because it's football related. So
yeah.
But thank you, Tomboy. I appreciate you repeating. Yeah, this is a wild case. Now, let me ask this question. Who in here thinks that they're going to catch this guy?
I don't.
I don't either. I don't know. Not even close. I do not believe that they're going to catch him.
Yeah.
And I don't think he'll go to jail either if he were to be caught.
Nah.
He just doesn't come off to me that way. So I just don't see
Nah.
them catching him.
Nope. And if the flyers are only going out, online or whatever and nowhere else, I mean, it'd be in the news, but people don't really pay attention.
Right.
So.
That is true. Yep, Tomboy, that's what I'm saying. They won't catch him alive. That's what I'm saying. He will
Right.
not go because he knows if he goes to prison, he's not coming out of prison, period. He'll just stay there forever. Plus,
that's true, Mikey.
Think about the fact that if he's supported by the cartel, they're not going to trust that he's not going to talk about anything. So he sure as hell's not going to go. No. Exactly, Tomboy. There you go.
Yep.
Crazy story, Mama Bear.
Yeah.
And thank you to Chris for sending you that. That's pretty wild.
Yeah.
I had no idea. Learn something new every day.
Yep. Me either. Just wait till my next story.
Uh-oh, you got another one brewing already?
Yeah. Remember I told you?
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Have you guys ever heard of the silent twins?
Yeah, this one is really interesting. I might do this too. Wow, no, we'll do this together. Either way, this is crazy.
You're right, Jody.
Oh boy, yes, Miss Jody.
I guess nobody's heard of the silent twins.
You guys have never heard of the I know I didn't either until you showed me that, but the silent twins, nobody knows about that story.
Awesome.
That makes it better, right?
Yes.
Yeah, this is interesting, you guys. It is very interesting, especially for anybody that has a set of twins. Oh,
Tandy.
There it is.
Should have known. One of the teachers would grab it.
Of course.
Yes, June and Jennifer. Good job, Tandy. I'm going to cover that with the real facts, not the stupid facts that people have put out prior. Yep, Gibbons.
Yeah, as most stories like that, quite a few YouTubers put it out as a freak show story instead of the real deal truth behind it. So Mama Bear's going to do it the right way.
Yes, my daughter came to me and she's like, I need you to do this for real, like the real story. I said, okay.
That's what I said too, Arctic. I had never heard nothing about that. And I was like, whoa.
Yep, I got to find stuff, different stuff.
This is two that I didn't know anything about. The Gibbons sisters I had never heard of before either.
It'd be interesting to know the backstory behind the Snowboarders upcoming. Huh? Maybe I can look into that.
There you go. It's a good idea, Mikey. It is. Candy for sure. I looked into it a little bit when I heard about it, just a tiny little bit, and it just from what she told me too, it's pretty interesting.
Yeah, I'll show you a picture of the girls.
Cap, the Property Brothers, right? And
these are the girls. This is June and Jennifer Gibbons. And that's all I'm going to tell you.
Gotta wait for it. Yeah, we could probably do a show about the Property Brothers at this point, from my understanding.
Oh.
Oh,
I
yeah.
will, hon.
You're going to do it for sure, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I thought so.
I want to take my time with it and make sure I get it
Yeah.
accurate and correct. And
Well, to do it differently than everybody else did it is not going to be hard because you're going to do it right and put it out there the right way. So
yeah.
that won't be hard. Did you say,
I mean,
Mike?
it's possible, Mikey. He said,
Oh, yeah,
was he
that is
possibly not
possible.
that good? And cartel money bought his way to the Olympics.
That's
I
a
mean,
huge possibility, bud.
yeah. Thank you, Ray. Yeah, make sure you hit the notification button. Subscribe so you get the notifications. You gotta
I
do the
mean,
bell and all that good stuff.
it said he placed 23 out of 32. That's not really that good. So yeah, that makes
That's
sense.
24.
Or 24. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was wrong. But yeah, that makes some sense because how else would you really? I don't know the ins and outs of how the Olympics works and how you usually get in or not get in or whatever, but that could mean something, Mike. Truly, it does make sense.
Yeah, Tanny, there's one person that covered it that I've always, they have a big channel, been around for a long time. And I listened to their story on it and I was really disappointed. But yeah, there's been a lot of stupid stories that have come out about these girls. Yeah, I'll dig deeper and see what I can find for you, Mikey. We can do a part 2.
I'm excited to see this new one about the Gibbon sisters. Truly,
Yeah. Yeah, I'm excited to write that one.
yeah, that is a interesting theory, Mike. See if that could be what happened there. Was that one based out of the UK, Mama Bear? Or somewhere overseas, I should say.
Um yes, so
Okay.
they were actually they grew up in Wales. But they were from, I want to say Cambodia, Yemen. Their nationality is British.
Right. Okay.
Let's see. Jane and Jennifer were the daughters of Caribbean immigrants, Gloria and Aubrey. They moved from Barbados to the UK in the early 60s.
Gotcha. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Yep.
We used to take second grade skiing. They always try to get me to do it. Oh, hell. I wish we had stuff like that when I was in elementary school. We didn't do nothing like that.
Yeah. Same. I mean, I was excited when my kids got to do roller skates. Like, woohoo.
Yeah, nothing.
But there's no, and then they fell in love with skating, and there's nowhere to go roller skating.
Oh, really? You guys don't have a rink anywhere around?
Not that you can trust.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we had 2 where I'm from indoor. One burnt down and one shut down because nobody weren't getting any business. So we used to spend every weekend there when I was a kid. Friday and Saturday.
There was one in Avon, and during COVID, it shut down. The only other close one is Pretty Ghetto, and I'm not going there.
No, I get it. Did the one shut down for the sea open back up or no?
No.
Yep, a lot of places ended up that way. Just sad.
Yeah. So. All right. Well, I'm gonna hop off here. I got some stuff I gotta do around the house and get my kids moving to help and some things. So I appreciate all of you being here. And there's my husband with the vacuum cleaner.
That's a hint. Let's go. All
So there's my cue.
right, man. Thank you for having me again. Great show, great story, and I appreciate you putting it out there.
Well, thank you for being here. Thank you, everybody, for being here and hitting the like button. I will see you soon.
Yes, guys. I'll see you
All
too. I may be here later on. We'll see. You guys have a great rest of your Sunday, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.